You lead.
We in here. We in here, y'all. We in here. And guess what, y'all? We ain't leaving without a victory. We ain't leaving without a victory. So, y'all, hey, my brothers, put a smile on your face. Okay? Because Florida State, if we gonna do it then, we do it big then. Let's go, baby. I only have 2 words to say to you. No.
Welcome back. We are here again. We're getting a little bit more consistent, and we're going to keep it going. Welcome to another episode of the Somebody Said Noles Podcast. Yeah, you heard it right. The Somebody Said Noles Podcast, not the Somebody Said Podcast, not Somebody Said Canes, but Somebody Said Noles. Do me a favor, if this is your first time giving us a watch, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you get all the notifications. And when we drop, we are here every Thursday to talk everything Florida State football, from here until forever, or maybe just until the end of this season, because
at least
we might check out depending on how this season goes.
No.
No checking out.
No, there's no checking out. We are here. We're here to stay. This is us, man. We locked in at this point.
All right. Well, we're going to continue hijacking the Somebody Said Podcast YouTube page. So if those of you tuning in, looking for Somebody Said Podcast content, this is Thursday, Somebody Said Noles Day. We typically record on a Monday for the regular pod. Breeze records on Wednesday for Somebody Said Canes. And we're kicking off Somebody Said Noles. Get us to 50 subscribers so we can start going live on our own YouTube channel. You look at the bottom of the screen, you can follow us at Somebody Said Noles. Give us that like and subscribe and share, man. Like Breeze would say, steal a phone and subscribe. It's not a crime. I promise you.
I mean, well, should we have like a little contingency, like a little bail money set aside for the people that we're telling to go steal other people's phones? Like, I feel like we should give them something in return, just in case.
I'm starting to feel like we have to, because we're urging them to do crime,
alleged crime. Yeah,
so we kind of have to back them a little bit. So yeah, we'll throw something in the pot every time we urge someone to do a crime.
No doubt. Sounds good.
I'm Unc Bayless, as always. I'm joined by the one and only Pumpy Johnson. How you feeling this week, man?
I'm feeling solid, man. Listen, we're under 40 days, man, to kick off, and as much as you think I'm not excited for the season, I'm extremely excited for the season, man. Football season just gives you it's a breath of fresh air, man. You know what I mean? Like, you're going through that summer. It's summertime in Florida. It's hot as
it was a long summer, man.
Outside, man, it's ridiculous. And I just want to get like this football started right now. I need something for my weekends, right? I love that stretch of time. You know how you get to like what is like mid-September, October, where it's like you actually have football like every single day almost at one point. Like, there's Monday night games, NFL. Somebody randomly has a Tuesday night game.
A little action on Wednesday.
You know what I mean? There's the trash, NFL Thursday night game. And then you got Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's like every day is just filled with football. And our Noles are going to be a part of that, man.
Hey, man. Well, ladies, get us while you can for the next couple weeks, because the fellas are going to be missing in about 7 weeks from now. That's when our Noles kick it off. We had a little spirited conversation off air, and I know the consensus in the fan base is everybody wants Mike Norvell fired, regardless of what we do this year. But my thing is, if we go 9-3 and somehow find a way to win the ACC and go to the playoffs, why is everybody still concerned about Mike being fired? I think we should be able to, if this team somehow finds some sort of success, we should focus on that success versus who's the head coach. Because besides your Ohio State, your Alabama, Georgias of the world, college football ain't as consistent as we would all think it is right now, especially with the climate of, the NIL and the portal era. Nothing's consistent. So I think if we have any sort of success, we should focus on the success of the team versus who's still coaching it. That doesn't mean Mike still won't get fired, but I think we should soak it up regardless.
Listen, I'm with you on that. Like, we want to enjoy the moment, right? But let me ask you a question. What year did you start becoming a true like diehard Florida State fan? Like, around what year?
What year was that?
Because you always talk about P-Dub, and like that was what, 90?
Yeah, my first introduction to Florida State football was when that P-Dub ran a 15-yard comeback in the swamp, took it up the sideline for a touchdown. What year was that?
That had to be probably 98, maybe, because we won the Natty in 99, so it's probably 98.
Thinking 98, 99 in that pocket. But yeah, P-Dub is the reason I became a Noles fan. That particular play made me want to play a receiver. I wore number 9 in high school. You know, I glorified P-Dub and Florida State since then.
Okay, so again, let's just say 1998. Let's get as early as possible. You do realize that when you became a Florida State fan, a true diehard fan, Florida State was already 16 years into their bowl streak, right? Consistency, right? That streak didn't end until 2017. You follow what I'm saying? Like, that streak, that level.
Picking up what you're putting now.
That's 35 years of consistently good football, right? Yeah, you got some patches in there. The end of the Bobby era was a little tough, you know what I mean? But then you bounce right back with Jimbo Fisher and you go win another Natty. So when we're talking about the Ohio States, when we're talking about the Alabamas, we're talking about the Georgias, even that level of consistency that we're talking about is really not their own history, right? Unless you go all the way back to when they wouldn't even let black people on the field, right? The standard of consistency is Florida State football. If you think about it, it's 35 years, almost 40 years of consistently good ball, right? How many years did we finish in the top 5? We had a streak going in that department too. So when we're talking about Bama, we're talking about Ohio State, and we're sitting here just wanting to live in the moment and be happy. It's like, have y'all forgotten who we are? We're Florida State University. We actually are the standard of consistency. It's not Miami, even though they got more rings. It's not Florida. It's not Georgia. It's not even Alabama. Alabama is doing now what we did for 35 years.
No, I get that. That's a testament to Coach Bowden. Jimbo eventually took up the baton and carried it for as far as he could. But for a majority of that period, it's been one guy, and that's Coach Bobby Bowden. But as college football transcends, things change. Sure. It's and I think part of the changing is knowing how to operate within the climate. I think now Mike Norvell had a jump on the portal, and everybody caught up and pretty much surpassed them. But at the same time, there's still an avenue to win in this era. But as far as achieving consistency, I think that's long gone. Yeah, I think some of these programs like the Georgias and the Ohio States of the world still have the residue of the old college football. And I think it's starting to wear off, as I think me and Breeze alluded to on the main pod. Mm-hmm. Georgia ain't dominating people as they used to because the money's catching up. Everybody can spend, you're not getting the McDonald's bag under the table anymore. It's open market. So I think some teams have that residue of consistency, but no one expected Miami to go to a national championship. No one expected Texas Tech to be as good as they were last year. So I do think go ahead.
But I mean, not to cut you off, but who did you expect, right? And we can say the NIL era started around 2000, the COVID era, so 2020, 2021, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you're gonna have your one-offs, in there. You're gonna get your Texas Techs that sneak in there, or you get a Miami that now, because they got money, right? You can spend money, but you still have your true, that you call them blue bloods. You still have the Ohio States. You still have the Alabamas. You still have the Georgias that are in there on a regular basis. I don't think Ohio State has missed the college football playoff since it started. Have they? Or since the NIL era has started. So the teams that are consistently there are the teams that have been around with us. So in all honesty, it's not just Mike Norvell. And I know, he's the right?
Yeah.
He's the face of the program, right? The head coach in college football, he's always the face of the program. But we know when we talk about it, it's deeper than just Mike. It's the administration. The administration thought, well, we'll wait till this house settlement happens. And like, no. Go pay these guys because the NCAA has no power anymore, right? We'll do it the right way. F that, right? And even Mike Norvell, who had the jump on the NIL, he fumbled that. So it's a collective of people. It shouldn't just be Mike. Like Mike's going to get the blame.
He's the easy target. He's the easy target.
That's low hanging fruit. But Mike Alford should be gone after this year too because he fumbled. They messed us up as a collective. Right. But Mike Norvell, he still has to coach those guys on Saturday, and he hasn't done a good job. He still has to recruit those guys over the offseason. He hasn't done a good job. Right. We were doing the DB breakdown earlier, and we're talking about KJ Bolden. It hurts me every time I look at KJ Bolden. I'm like, yeah. Right. We're looking at
we're gonna talk depth chart, but you think about guys like KJ Bolton, Travis Hunters that we're committed to this university, and somehow we couldn't keep him in house.
Right, and it can't just be money, right? Like we're gonna throw you some money, but you're telling me you can't close the deal on these guys? Like that's so for me again. I don't want to be a Texas Tech. I don't want to be one of those one-off teams. I don't want to be a James Madison. You know what I mean? We're supposed to be there with Ohio State and Georgia and Oregon and whoever on a consistent basis because we're fucking Florida State University. We set that standard of consistency. So the fact that we're not there, it pisses me off on a regular basis.
For those of you just hopping in, the premise of this conversation was if we have success this year, let's say 9-3, are we still going to be wanting to fire Mike? And I think Pump is leaning towards, I'll take the success. I'll soak it up. But I'm looking long term. What we were in the 90s, early 2000s, the Jimbo era. I want that versus a one-hit wonder, a 2-year hiatus, and then we don't know what to expect after that. I think Pump is wanting that consistency. For me, I think I'm on the other side of it where I'm taking what I could get in the moment. If we have some sort of success next year, I'm taking that because a lot of the consistency in college football is very top heavy. And once college football gets governed the way it should be, then I will worry about the consistency. I do think we got to spend more money. I don't want Mike to be the head coach, but as long as he's here and let's say we go win next year, I'm not going to be mad because he's still here. We won.
I'm gonna be mad he's still here. You're a Laker fan, right?
Yeah.
How many eras of basketball have we seen since you've been alive, right? I grew up in the 80s, early 90s era of basketball. It's switched again. It's a new era now.
Yeah.
One consistent thing is the Lakers keep winning.
Except for that 10 years before Brian got there.
And then all of a sudden the Lakers won again, right? So even through the midst of all this, the Lakers have a standard that they've set for themselves. If they throw money at the problem, we're going to get the biggest stars. We're going to get all these people. Somehow, some way, the Lakers always find a way to be relevant and competitive, right? They've set that through any change in the NBA. It doesn't matter. The Lakers are going to find a way. That's what Florida State should be. That's all I want. And I know for a fact the people that are heading Florida State are not the people to carry that on. So if we go 9-3, great. To me, that's no different than 2023, and we went 13-0 and won a ACC championship, and then you follow it up with 2-10.
So either way, you want Mike gone, success or not.
Get him out.
Right. We didn't come here to talk Mike Norvell, believe it or not. We went 14 minutes talking Mike Norvell. It seems like it's a topic that cannot be avoided. There's nothing. I'm watching all these national pundits and all these national podcasts. And as much as they like to talk crap about Florida State, they can't stop talking about Florida State. And a lot of the topics have been about Mike Norvell. It's a very sexy topic because of what you said, Pump. We're a brand, regardless if you respect it or not. We're a brand of consistency, and it hasn't happened. Shout out to Jay Will in the comments. The Lakers are the Cowboys of the NBA. All right, get him out of here. Get him out of here. All right, so what we're actually here to talk about today is we're going to project the starters on the defensive side of the football. We've already discussed in previous pods what we think the offense would look like, but we never got around to the defense. And we're about a week away from camp now, 7 weeks till toe hits leather. So I think it's time to kind of break down guys headed into camp who we think could secure some positions on this defense. And I do think this defense is a little bit underrated. There's a lot of talent there. My only concern is the competitive depth of this defense, so you're going to rely on a lot of younger guys to step up and be a Daryl and Mandrell Desir, be a Shamar Arnaud who eventually transferred to Auburn after his freshman season. We could have used him this year, but you're gonna depend on a lot of young guys to step up. But there is a lot of veteran talent on this defense that's not being talked about. So as we go through the depth chart, we'll just kind of break things down and so I'll just kind of break the players down and see what we come up with. If you're a first time listener, watcher, please like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 50 subscribers so we could have our own YouTube channel and go live. We're hijacking the main page right now. So just do us the solid, man. We ain't asking for much in here.
For much, man. We ain't asking to rob Peter to pay Paul, but if you do, just tell Peter to subscribe too.
And we'll put some on your books.
We will definitely put some on your books. We got to go down on 49th and get you out. We'll get you out.
All right. Without further ado, let's get it going, Pump. All right. Man. So defensive starters, where we want to start. Let's start D-line. For me, the most important person on the D-line this year is, of course, the one that got paid the most. One of the highest paid players on the team, and that's Mandrell Desir. I think he's going to be one of those edge rushers out there. I got Kevin Wynn, Daniel Lyons, and Rylan Kennedy as my defensive linemen. Do you have any issues with that?
No, I think that's where you have to go. And in all honesty, I think that, again, that's why, somebody like Juju Kevin Wynn, he was so high on my list. If he's doing what he needs to do, I think that the success that you saw from, the Desirs last year, a lot of that did stem from all the dirty work that that Darrell Jackson did. Again, I think that he had a much better season than people realize because he's a big D tackle and his job is to just take up space, right? Get pressure up the middle, take up space, let those guys on the edge do their thing. Juju Wynn has to be that guy. So, if he's not that guy, I think that you will see a fall off from the Desirs, or even, whatever we're thinking we might get from Rylan Kennedy. He's got to play that position, man. And he's young. You know what I mean? I think Juju's a freshman coming or a sophomore coming in here now, right? Redshirt sophomore.
I want to say, he's a redshirt sophomore. And he came out of high school, was a borderline 5-star guy. We fought off Georgia for him. He's a Georgia kid. He's got the physical abilities. I don't know if it was a game speed issue last year or we've seen the social media video that went viral that he's got the strength, so that's not an issue.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say I think maybe health and just a little bit of want to, man. Like I'm hoping that he's just not one of those big old boys that was, just dominating high school by not really trying. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Again, I think I compared him, wanting to see like the kind of impact that a Timmy Jernigan had. You know what I mean? If he has that kind of strength and that kind of impact, those guys on the edge are going to have nothing to do but eat, right? Yeah. Because he's going to end up wreaking all kind of havoc. You got to double that guy if he's that guy, right? If he's who everybody says he is. I didn't hear great things in camp, about him, but I'm hoping that Tony White and Pot Roast can get something out of him this year because we need him big time.
Definitely. I think they kind of held him back in camp because of the injuries. You want him healthy going in the fall camp. I do think it's a big year for him. Underrated guy, but if he develops into who we think he could be, that changes the defense as a whole, actually. Rylan Kennedy, he's listed as a jack. linebacker, but I think he's more of an edge rusher. I don't want to see him in coverage as much, but I do think they'll drop him back from time to time. We talked about him briefly last week. I think he has abilities, but he's been in college football for 4 years now. 3.5 sacks is the most he's ever had in his career. So not a high productive guy. Still a very raw, talented guy that started playing football late in his high school year, was a basketball kid, ended up going to Texas A&M, but couldn't cut the starting lineup. He's going to start for us. Do you see a world in which he's better than the guy we brought in James Williams last year? Because I think there's a lot of comparisons between the two.
Man, that bar is so low. So low.
I don't like shooting James Williams a lot of bail because I don't like him at all. I don't like the way he came. He exited talking shit, and we hyped him up all off season last year. He's going to get a bunch of pressures. Look at these numbers. He's top 10 in pressures in college football, but he did get to the quarterback a lot. He just couldn't finish.
He got him. He got in the backfield a lot. We did see him, like in all those highlights. We saw number 10 in there, and then we saw him either, he couldn't finish, or, in all honesty, I saw him quit on a lot of plays. Right, I saw him quit in that Bama game. Right, we're trying to close that game out. He's getting the pressure early, and it's like he's walking around. Like, bro, get off the field. And if you need a breather, come out. Let somebody else get in there because you're hurting the team. I think Rylan Kennedy is going to be my wild card on that D-line. Again, somebody that has the talent, that has the measurables there, coming from Texas A&M, right? So, I mean, even in that defense, you're thinking, all right, show me something, right? Because we know what that Texas A&M, recruiting class and that defense has been for a little while. And if Mike Elko can't get more out of you, I'm not sure what Tony White and them boys are going to get out of you, right? So again, the measurables there. So if he's having a good season, that's just going to help out the Desirs over on the opposite end. So he's my wild card going into the season on that D-line.
And I do think a lot of his success is going to be tied to Nick Williams, because he committed to Florida State because of Nick Williams, and they have a history growing up. So hopefully Nick could get through to him. And from what I heard, that he was playing out of position a lot at Texas A&M. So hopefully they set him up for success. I think, Daniel Lyons, it's now or never for him. We talked Mandrell Desir. I do think the other Desir twin, he could take a jump, because believe it or not, Mandrell wasn't the highest rated one out of the twins coming out of high school. So hopefully Daryl kind of gets back to, being the better twin. And then we got two good ones. Pump, I'm gonna let you take the two linebacker spots. Who do you think are gonna start at those spots?
Oh, good grief, Charlie Brown. Well, one has to be Chris Jones. I mean, I think that he's the one. I think he's the one that we've talked about a lot, coming from Southern Mississippi, right?
Yeah.
I mean, great numbers. We've compared him, a few times to Tatum Bethune. 132 tackles, 49 solo tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 2 passes defended, and a pick.
Just bring that over. Just bring that production over.
All that over here.
We need that.
And I think, in all honesty, again, it might be putting too much on him. I mean, Tatum Bethune is a NFL linebacker. Tatum's actually balling over there with the 49ers. But I think since he's been gone, we've seen just no communication in that, in that linebacking core. Like, nobody knows how to get guys in position. That's what Tatum Bethune was. That's like one of his strengths when he was there, right? 2-year guy, 2-year starter. Needs somebody to come in there and fill that role. If it can be Chris Jones, again, it's there. The kid knows how to tackle, right?
He looks like a linebacker. He's one of those guys you want getting off the bus first.
Absolutely. And we haven't seen those kind of guys. You know what I mean? The fact that he does have a pick and 2 pass breakups. I mean, we've seen our linebackers get exposed over the last couple of years. Elijah Heron, I'm looking straight at you wherever you are. So yeah, he's got to be one of those guys. But if he can fill in that Tatum Bethune role, that'd be great. Opposite of him,
this one's tricky. There's a lot of guys vying for this spot.
Opposite of him, I personally feel it has to be Omar Graham.
I'm with you.
Right. Of the two between him and Blake Nicholson, again, we saw Blake got hyped up for so many years, man. And again, the measurables, he's 6'3", 220 pounds. I mean, the kid can move. We've seen the raw talent in Blake Nicholson. We just haven't seen the consistency in him just, do it on a regular basis. I think you said it kind of looks like he's just he's playing too fast in his head, right?
Yeah.
Like he gets there, but then all of a sudden something happens, and all of a sudden like he glitches.
He glitches yeah.
way too many times. Omar Graham, I think at the end of last year, in the group chat, I think we even kind of shot him some praise every now and then. Like, okay,
yeah.
I see what Omar's doing. He all of a sudden became probably the most consistent linebacker we had going toward the end of the season. So again, if Chris Jones is going to do what he does, and Omar Graham can just be that consistent for us, carry over what he did from 25 and 26, that's a nice linebacking core. That's a decent linebacking core. That might be your Kalen DeLoach and Taylor Bethune 2.0.
I really, this is my sleeper group of the team, the linebacker core, because I do think there's a lot of talent in that room, and it's the competitive depth that's missing on the D line. Yeah. In other positions such as the O line, there's not a lot of depth that's pushing the other guys that could potentially start. Because I do think Blake is talented. I like the kid they brought in from North Carolina. What's the kid? The other kid, Lavelle.
Caleb
Lavelle. I think
we're gonna figure out how to pronounce his name.
Yeah, make some tackles. We'll get your name right. But I'm with you on Omar Graham, man. I think you could compare it to Jarian Jones. If you look at Jarian Jones' career and how bad we used to talk about him getting beat deep, and then eventually kind of clicked his last year and ended up being the second round pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and now he's one of the top nickel corners in the league.
Yep.
So I do think that Omar Graham kind of figured it out at the tail end of last year. He hopped in the transfer portal and decided to come back. Yeah. I do think he's going to hit the ground running this year.
I hope so.
Now, I know every year they hype him up during camp, and then he comes out and then he looks lost. But you got a guy next to you like Chris Jones that he knows what he's doing. He knows where he's going. He's reading everything. And it's going to force Omar Graham to kind of follow suit. And I'm with you. That could be your Tatum and DeLoach kind of combination.
That'd be great, man. That'd be great. I'm looking at a stat, and I didn't realize. I'm looking at all the the linebackers that we had last year, and of the returning linebackers. So all guys that got snaps last year. Blake Nicholson, Omar Graham, AJ Cottrell. I forgot that he was out there for some time, which was bananas. Out of all those guys, Blake got 74% of all the snaps. He had 420 snaps on defense last year.
There's something there with Blake. It's just you just got to unlock it. I don't know if Ernie is that guy to unlock it. And I'm one of the biggest Blake fans, so I'm actually rooting for him, but I can't put him as a starter because
same.
Omar seemed to have figured it out towards the tail end, while Blake was still lost. Yeah. But if Blake figures it out, I'm not going to act like I'm surprised that he's starting.
And you know what? I'm glad you brought him up. So I gave him a wild card for the D line. I think my wild card for the linebacking group might actually be Ernie Sims. Just as a teacher, right? Again, somebody who knows how to do it. He did it at a high level at Florida State and in the NFL. Like he knows what that's supposed to look like. Right. So if there's something that these guys aren't seeing, I'm hoping that Ernie can at least, and again, I don't know how good he is of a teacher, right? He's earned a spot at least up to this point on that coaching staff. So if he can figure out how to get in these guys' ear and get them to turn a corner, we might see something good. Again, the talent, I think there's talent on that linebacking core. So if Ernie can unlock it, please, Lord. Our linebacking core has been trash for a while, man. It's tough.
Man. And the one thing he's going to bring before we move on to the secondary is energy. Randy Shannon, it was just like watching a zombie coach. Ernie Sims, he's one of the coaches. Him and Nick Williams is out there wearing cleats. No other coaches out there wearing cleats but those two, and those are the two high energy guys. So I'm a fan of those two guys coaching, and I think that could help with this defense because a lot of times the defense just look like they lack energy. But when you got coaches that are on the sideline that's constantly chirping and saying the right things, I think players kind of galvanize around those kind of coaches and follow suit.
I'm with you.
Breeze hopping in. We tried to tell y'all about it. We didn't believe you. Get out of here.
Scram.
Yeah.
Scram.
All right, moving on to the secondary, man. The obvious one is Jabril Rawls. He went to ACC Media Day. He's our starting corner. And then it's a dogfight for the that left corner. You got Nehemiah Chandler, who's in the driver's seat right now. A lot of people project him to be the starter. You got Quindarius, who has all the measurables, could be a starter. Quindarius Jones. And then my wild card is Charles Lester, who's another kid that has all the measurables. Former 5-star kid. At one point, he was the number 1 corner in the nation coming out of high school. Hasn't put it together yet. He's pumped. You mentioned last week he played in a couple games.
HPP.
Please tell the people what HPP means.
High potential bum. He's got high potential bum status until he shows me different.
He's got a lot of high potential skill set as well, man. If he could figure it out. Who you got starting across from Jabril Rawls?
Oh man,
it's a talented room, and we haven't even mentioned the top 5 corner we got out of high school. Beat Georgia out for him again. Chuck Kennan. I don't think he's ready, but throw the 5-star kid out there. Give him a shot.
The crazy thing is, I think that with the 2 of our first 3 games are against some cupcakes, so you're gonna see guys get some playing time as they should, right?
Agreed, Jay Will.
I think that it's first and foremost. I think it's now or never for Quindarius Jones, right? He's a senior coming in here. He's got no choice. I think they're gonna go with a guy who has the higher upside and consistency, which is going to be Nehemiah Chandler. I think they brought him in here just the same way they brought in. God, why I was blank on the kid's first name? Was it AJ Wilson? CJ Wilson? CJ
Wilson? Jeremiah Wilson
from last year. No, we called him something. They called him something. Jerry Wilson. That's what.
Jerry.
Yeah.
19.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, if you're Jeremiah, you sure your name is Jerry. I should have known something was wrong right then and there, but that's neither here nor there.
He was always in position. He just took a lot of chances.
Yeah, he did. Too many chances. He was there. But again, I mean, they brought him in to be a starter just off of the hype. I think he was the number 1 transfer in the portal last year. So you bring in a guy like Nehemiah Chandler, 31 tackles, 22 solos last year, 13 passes defended, 2 picks. Again, he's got a B rating in coverage. So the consistency is always what's bit Q in the foot, right? And he's got all the size, man. The kid is 6'3", right? 6'3", 180. He can move.
No way he's 6'3". Let me look.
Yeah, I think it's like 6'2", 6'3".
I got him at 6'1".
There's no way he's 6'1".
Keep talking.
6'2" at least. But he's got, but we've seen him make those plays, and it's like, man, that kid got range. He can do all these things, but then he'll come out the next game or honestly, even the next series, and it's like, bro, what are you doing? He looks so lost. So yeah, man, I think that he'll push, or Nehemiah will push Quindarius Jones, but at the end, I think it's going to be Nehemiah across the other side from Jabril.
I'm with you there. I'm pulling for Quindarius, but at some point you got to kind of whatever you're showing me on film, that's who you are. After 3 years, it's hard for me to say you're still developing. And then the injuries on top of that, if he starts, I don't know how to feel about that. It could be a good thing because you beat out a guy that they essentially brought in to start. And we talk about his talent so much. He reminds you of what's our guy that just went to the Jets? He reminds you of Azaria Thomas. Just in his built in the way he plays. He's one of those long corners that could run, could move, but it's not consistent. So I'm with you on it. I think Nehemiah Chandler beats him out, but I do think this is a talented room where Charles Lester is behind them, Quindarius, so they're going to push for time on the field, but your two starting corners have to be Jabril and Nehemiah Chandler. And I like that combination. You got size, physicality. We know Jabril like to hit. Jabril just has to stay healthy. And the fact that he lost some weight is kind of concerning because you were injured at the back end of last season, and then you didn't bulk up. You lost weight. So hopefully Jabril can stay healthy. And because
we're gonna need him.
We're gonna need him. We're gonna need him.
Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, too, before we get to the safeties, I mean, I think that there's a lot of depth pieces there, right? So, I mean, if Charles Lester is one of your depth pieces, if Quindarius Jones is a depth piece, there's guys there. Like you said, they got the young kid, the freshman. If he's gonna get some burn or at least push some of these guys, I'm all for that. You know what I mean? But they're gonna need it. All the help they get right there. So,
hey man, shout out to Non-Steezy. Hopefully you're subscribing. If you're not, please do us the solid and go subscribe to our YouTube channel at Somebody Said Noles. There's 3 channels that in this network. Somebody Said Podcast, which is the main podcast. We talk about everything college football. We talk about everything NFL football. There's also Somebody Said Canes, which our guy Breeze does every Wednesday. If you're a Canes fan, hop over there and hit the subscribe button on that one. And we're kicking off Somebody Said Noles. We have to get to 50 subscribers so we could start going live on our own YouTube channel. So for now, we're hijacking the main pod until we get to that goal. So please do us the solid and hit the subscribe button. Non-Steezy says it's all about the trenches. The D-line will need to prove itself and take the pressure off the secondary.
Absolutely.
I concur.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier, man. They're gonna need to. That's where it all starts anyway. Right. So all right. What's up with them safeties, man?
Talk to me. What you got?
I mean,
we do the crazy defense where we have 3 of them. So what's the 3?
Ashland Barker for sure, right? I mean, that's love that he came back. Needed him, right? Needed him back there in that secondary. Again, another thumper, guy that likes contact. He's gonna hit you. Another guy where I feel like there's times, and not too many, but there's times where he gets caught out of position, right? I think we saw that a lot with him and Earl last year, more so with Earl.
Yeah.
But Ashland, he was a constant back there. On the opposite side, I think you're probably going to end up going with KJ Kirkland.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm saying
that here, Breeze.
Likely, more than likely. I mean, who else is out there at safety, right? Who's gonna take over that spot that I guess Earl had, that kind of rover position?
So they said that they're gonna go ahead and put Ashland at rover. Look like Young Dollar trying to hop in the chat now. Looks like they're gonna have. Wait, let's shout out our guy Young Dollar before we talk secondary. Talk safeties. Shout out to my guy FSU Reg.
What's up, fellas? Y'all can hear me, see me? Am I doing this right?
Yeah, you good, man. You good. You're about an hour late. But it's all good.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all letting me through the door, though. What we working on today on our group project right now.
So yeah, we already pretty much knocked off the whole defense. We finishing it up right now with the secondary. Pump just alluded to who's gonna take over Earl's spot, and from what I'm hearing, Pump, man, Ashland Barker, they're gonna roll him into that rover position. I think he's intelligent enough. He's a big 6'3" kid, 220 that could move. And I think he's a lot more, I don't want to say smarter than Earl, but he makes a lot more calculated decisions. Where Earl, he was just out to kill every play, and sometimes he'll get beat on a double move. I think that's a good position for Ashton Barker.
I mean, listen, we're taking a step. We're taking a step back talent wise, because now if you're gonna move Ashton over to that rover position, where last year we had Ashland at one safety position and we had Edwin Joseph, right? I thought losing Edwin hurts our defense. I understand, him not being there. I thought he shouldn't have played anymore after what was that? Was that Clemson? Was that the Clemson?
That was Stanford. Him and Mike got into that argument.
I mean,
oh yeah, hell yeah, that was terrible.
You know what I mean? That was a toughie. So I don't know, man. I don't know if you want to lose that consistency at safety in Ashton Barker by making him a rover now. I don't think I like that.
Well, it's still safety. Reg, I don't know if you want to jump in.
Yeah. I think Ashland will be good. I think he's cerebral enough. I think he know how to play the ball. He usually be pretty good when he's close to the line of scrimmage. I don't hate it, but I don't like when our players are kind of feisty with the coaches. That left a bad taste in my mouth, because you could at least wait to the locker room to talk back if you're talking back. But got to get these fellas locked in and make plays, really, because we need playmakers for real. Get us that ball back.
Yeah, we definitely alluded to coaching as well in this episode. We talked about Nick Williams, the energy that he's going to bring as the edge rushing coach, and then Ernie Sims. We mentioned they both wear cleats to practice, and they bring that energy. They're running around with the guys, so I think it's a lot more respect that's going to be given to those coaches at least. We didn't mention Blue Adams, who's another new coach. I ain't gonna lie, I like Pat Surtain last year, but we don't know much about Blue Adams, so I'll leave room for criticism if needed until I see what's on the field.
No, that's fair. I forgot they did get the transfer. CJ Richards, he did come over. Transferred from Illinois State, so he was a starter last year. 3 picks, 1 pass breakup,
freshman All-American.
Yeah, so I mean, they even send him. I mean, I like him more maybe in that rover type position. Especially, I think I'm reading too, like Illinois State actually used him in a lot of blitz coverage too, a lot of blitz packages. So, I just don't want to move Ashland out of that position, man. Especially if you don't have something to replace him. You know what I mean? I'm a big win above replacement kind of guy. So
what's our guy named that went to Ohio State?
Earl.
Earl, yeah. And Earl, he was, he didn't help us in coverage that much. He helped us in the run game and getting people down, but when it was time to play the ball, man, gosh, Lee, and I feel like Ashland can definitely make the difference there for sure.
I think the reason why, and before we move on to the other 2 safeties, I do think the reason why they're moving Ashton is because he knows the defense a lot more. And if you're going to play that rover position, you got to be able to know all the positions on the back end and know how to. You're basically another quarterback of the defense back there. So I don't think they're just going to solely have him at rover. They might move him around depending on, I hope they're smart enough to go to a 4-2 from time to time, a 4-2-5 from time to time. So, we'll see how that goes, but I'm not mad at Ashley being at rover.
I know I'm late too. Who was our CB1 and CB2? Who y'all had?
We had Chandler and Jabril.
Gotcha, Jabril. Y'all think we overpaid for Jabril? We should let him walk, or we gonna need that on the field right now?
You need him.
We need Jabril enough. He was our only playmaker. I like Jabril. Yeah, it was worth it. We'll open the bank for him. I like that. I did.
Honestly, again, we don't have much of a choice. We're getting hit with a tax. Right?
We hit the luxury tax. I get it. Yeah, for sure. He crossed over to that level of being elite and being needed. So yeah, we got to do it.
No, Jabril, he's an old school Florida State corner. Like, he's not just gonna cover. But I was surprised at how much he was hitting last season. Yeah. Now, I did mention the size. I thought he was going to bulk up. He lost some weight. So I don't know
Yeah,
how
he
that's
looked
gonna affect
skinny
him.
at the ACC media day, but I wasn't gonna worry about that. He CB, long as he bouncy, long as he fast, get to the ball.
Yeah, definitely. So the other two safeties I got is, of course, Pump. You mentioned C.J. Richards, former freshman All-American. Although it was a level down, I do think I'm not gonna sit here and act like I watched a bunch of film on him, but I do think you just don't go get a guy like that to not start him, especially if he was an All-American at that level. So they're gonna plug him in where Ashland at the other safety where Ashland was last year, and then the kid from Duke, Mekhi Jones. I think you're just taking a chance on the other safety. That's where I see why you could say KJ Kirkland, who's been there for 4 years now, would step in. I just don't think KJ Kirkland has the physical tools to keep up in coverage.
Yeah.
He's a short tackler, but he gets lost in coverage a lot, for my liking.
Yeah, again, I'm not a big KJ Kirkland fan. I mean, if it's all that we got, I mean, I do think CJ Rich is going to be definitely on that one side. Also, he did just play for a Division II national championship at Illinois State. So I mean, he comes with a decent enough pedigree. I know it's like you said, it's a step down or a level down, but it's low key a black hole on that other side.
Yeah. And that's why when he shouted out Pat Surtain, like, yeah, I like Pat. He was a big name, but we never fixed that bug of when we put our secondary out there, our second string out there, they're lost. Like that junk used to kill me. Like once we get past our starters, we're doomed. We're doomed. As soon as anyone get hurt, we're so doomed. So I really want to be prepared.
Probably a combination of CJ Richards and Mekhi Jones majority throughout the season. I don't think that KJ Kirkland is going to be able to hold that spot. I don't.
Let me pitch this to y'all. What was that?
Definitely by the
thinking he gonna get jumped early by game 3. We gonna see somebody new out there.
By the time we hit Bama, I guarantee you our starting safety is gonna be Mekhi Jones and CJ Richards.
Mm-hmm. I like Mekhi.
All right. Well, let me pitch this to y'all before we move on. Since we said Quinderis ain't starting at either corner, and Charles could beat him out for the third spot, do you see a world in where they move his position just to get him on the field to safety? Because he has the physical makeup.
I feel like didn't he play a little safety early?
Nah.
No,
I don't remember that.
I think they had him playing at safety a little bit.
I watched some film. I can't remember.
In all honesty, I feel it's going to be the same issue with him over and over. Like for him, it's not skill set. It's just the consistency. Can you do it on a consistent basis? Right? Can you read what's going on and react to it? And if he can't, I don't want my safeties continuing to get beat. We've seen that for the past couple of years. So, I mean, I don't think that it's if he's working on it right now, if they're working on that right now to shift him to safety, cool. But I don't think that if, they try to do that sometime during the season, I think this is going to set him back even further than where he is now. It's cornerback or nothing for him.
I do think they teetered with it in camp. So look out for that, because playing corner and safety is two different things when it comes to coverage. To see the whole field versus just to be locked in on one guy, it could open up a lot for a guy that's physically as gifted as Quinderis is. So, I do think it's a solid defense overall. To kind of just
I got a quick question. Which
ahead.
receiver core are we the most scared of?
None of them. On our schedule, of course, Miami. I'm not gonna be that guy.
They loaded.
Yeah,
I don't think we scared of Bama receiver core though. I mean, I think
I would be a little bit. I think Ryan Williams is gonna remind a lot of people. I didn't put him in my top 10.
Maybe we caught him early last year. We catch him early this year too. So before them legs get scratched out.
Yeah, I didn't catch him off guard this year though.
I'm more scared of SMU quarterback than the receivers, and then I know they got our tight end, so we'll probably figure out a way to trap them.
They got what? They got our what?
Didn't they take our tight end?
Our what? We had one of those last year.
Oh yeah, we had one. We had a little Swiss Army knife back there. He wasn't a full-blooded tight end. He was Swiss Army knife though.
No, I don't think we had a tight end since Jaheim Bell.
And do we say that we don't have it because the coach didn't use him properly, or he wasn't? You know, what's your thoughts on that? You know, he didn't have the skill set to actually be a tight end. He was more of a receiver. You think?
We've had people with that position slapped to them, and they were taking up good scholarship money.
Yeah.
All right.
Only as we got to see more drops out there. I'm good.
We ain't gonna get into that side of the ball tonight. You know,
My bad.
But overall, I think this is a solid defense. I think the safeties are questionable. Just to run back through it, since Reg hopped in, we had Mandrell at 1 DN, Kevin Wood, Juju Williams at nose tackle, Daniel Lyons at the other tackle, Rylan Kennedy at Jack / edge rusher. We both agreed that Omar Graham should be next to Chris Jones at linebacker. We kind of talked about Blake a little bit. I think that linebacker room is going to be a little bit underrated, but probably one of the most talented room, that
what
nobody talks about.
North Carolina boys, the two brothers we had, y'all don't like neither one of them to help us out at linebacker?
Caleb and Noah Lavalle, I think they're talented. But
they come with some hype. I just got to see it on the field.
Yeah.
Then we had, you hopped in on the DB talk, so we had Chandler and Jabril. We talked about Charles Lester, talented kid. I just think the secondary is too loaded. But if he starts, I think that's a good thing.
Do we believe he D1 caliber at this point? He gonna help us at any point? Or what y'all think about that?
Well, Pump mentioned last week he was on the field in the Alabama game and you didn't notice him, which when you don't get noticed at corner, you're doing something. So I think he has the ability, to hang. Is just figuring it out.
Yeah. I mean, again, the kid was a 5-star for a reason.
Man,
right.
What?
You know what I mean? So
I get tired of us missing on 5 stars. Like, dang. I like that 2027 recruit we got, though. I think he gonna help us out. I know Miami was on the heavy, so that's a good steal. So recruiting,
Jaquan Johnson or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I worry about that. You know how they be. Last minute, they get a bag and they not here anymore.
Leave us on prom night. I get it.
Yeah. Before we close the show out, I want to do a quick couple questions. We'll do a little buy or sell segment. Pump, do we still want to run through all offensive positions or just kind of
let's go
do quarterback? All right, so we'll do a rapid fire. If you want to add more, context to the answer, we could do that. But let's start out with the quarterback position. Buy or sell. The starting quarterback will finish as a top 3 quarterback in the ACC. Are we buying or selling that? And if you're in the chat, hit buy or sell in the chat, comment. Also, if you're hopping in, please subscribe, hit the bell, get us to 50 subscribers so we can start going live on our own YouTube channel, please. I'm begging tonight. Jay will say bye.
I say sell. I start us off with sell.
Oh, sell. Okay.
Yeah, I'm selling on that one. I mean, that means Darian Mensah, the kid from Pitt, and Kevin, is he going to be better than Kevin Jennings? And in my mind, no.
All right, so give me your top 3 then. That's another question. Give me your top 3 ACC quarterbacks.
I like his top 2 already, and he got to get close with that. That's limiting Clemson.
That's you got CJ Bailey. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like
top 3. I don't see that from. I don't see
the Pitt kid. What's his name?
Even if we make a quarterback change, I don't think. Even if we give Malachi, I don't think he 3. Maybe top 10-ish. That's give us a lot of wiggle room for some mistakes.
I mean, there's only like 13 teams.
All right, let's keep it moving.
Hey, top 10 sound good if you put it on there.
It do sound good though.
All right, shout out to AY in the comments, man. Hit the subscribe button. Next question. Still, we're staying on the quarterback. FSU will have a 3,000-yard passer this season. Are we buying or selling that?
Selling.
Sell. Okay.
Ground game, me ground and pound.
The quarterback will account for 30+ touchdowns this season. Now remember, Ashton, I think he's a lot more dynamic than any quarterback we've had post Jordan Travis on the ground.
I can see him giving us a good Tommy. 15 on the ground and 15 through the air. That sounds pretty reasonable.
More than
so you buying or you selling? Red?
I'll buy stock in that.
The whole chat selling. Sheesh. Pump, where you at with it?
Account for 30 touchdowns. Yeah, I gotta sell on that, man. And that's only because I mean, even Deuce last year only had what 6-7 touchdowns total.
So you don't think he could get 20 in the air and 10 on the ground?
I agree with that last comment. You gotta give us an easy buy now, man. You done gave us some easy. Look, give us an easy buy, man.
All right, this the last quarterback. This the last quarterback question, and we're gonna go to running back. We're gonna do the whole offense, and then we're gonna close the show out.
Yeah,
the last one on quarterbacks.
Buy and sell. Give me some Dollar Tree questions, bro.
This might be.
I want to go pick up something.
You feel me?
So it's a lot of negative people in Noles Nation as a whole. So this might be a lot of takers on this one. The backup quarterback will start at least one game this season.
Yes, I'm buying that. That happens to everybody. Like,
no, not starting. You getting in the game, yeah, but starting.
I'm gonna sell on that. Me and 12 were kind of talking about it earlier today, and I feel like, Ashton was a Gus guy. I don't think that Mike coming into this season said, I want that guy. Now, maybe it's the only guy they could get, but he doesn't feel like a guy that Mike Norvell really would want. His guy is still there. That's Kevin Sperry. So the fact that Kevin Sperry couldn't beat out Ashton Daniels, which I feel is they brought him in just because we're running Gus's offense. Well, now Gus is gone. I want to say that he should get some burn, but I don't see Mike. Mike has never been that guy to now go away from who he starts at quarterback, barring injury.
So let me give you another.
Very stubborn.
Yeah, let me give you another outlook at this. If the season goes downhill, Mike ain't gonna have a choice. He gonna be gone. So another quarterback is the way everybody's talking on how the season is supposed to go, which is an unsuccessful season. It's inevitable that there's gonna be another starting quarterback.
Okay, so at that point, I feel like the only way we get a Kevin Sperry starting is if we start off to maybe a 2-5 kind of season, and Mike is fired. Mike is fired early. If Mike gets fired, then yes, we see Kevin Sperry.
All right, let's keep it moving. Running backs.
And I got 2 questions for the end too, if I got time.
Nah, I always got time, man. FSU will rush for over 2,000 yards as a team. I feel like that's a good one.
That's a huge buy.
I'm buying that one.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
He eclipsed that last year, so that's an easy buy.
All right. A Seminole running back will eclipse 1,000 yards this season.
If Mike stops, playing 7 goddamn running backs, yes, one of them can get 1,000 yards.
So obviously you're thinking Trey gonna get that 1,000.
I think it'll be Trey. I think Trey can get that G.
I
can see them all hitting about a good 700 or so. Like we'll have a triple 700.
Breeze, you're a little bit too heavy in these comments, man. You ain't got nothing better to do on a Thursday night?
He gotta get that Kane hate off. He's showing love tonight. Let him go.
Nah, he's smirking. I could tell. All right, last question for the running backs. The run game will be better than last season.
That's easy to be. That's an easy buy too. I'll take that one.
Appreciate the support.
Loading up now. My cart full.
Right. Yeah. I'll buy that.
Seems like you thinking about that one, Pump.
Man, listen.
All right, we're gonna round it out with the receivers. I feel like it's only one question that needs to be asked about the O-line. Are they going to be good or not? I don't care about nothing else. Because if they're not good, the season ain't gonna be good.
I honestly trust Herb Hand, man. I think Herb Hand is a good O-line. I'm gonna buy it.
All right.
He know how to make shit look like sugar.
Yeah, it'll be above average at least.
I think it'll just be average, but that's better than what I'm projecting. So yeah,
good enough. All right, let's round it out with the receivers. FSU will produce 2 700-yard receivers this year. Buying or selling? Danzy came close last season. We know what Deuce did.
And Deuce missed a game or two, right? Or at least in the game. Yeah. 2 700-yard. Oh man, that's
Jay will say bye.
I like a buy. 2 700.
That's not hard.
Yeah, I'll take
that's
that.
Not hard.
Pause.
I mean, be careful with the not hard. You know, we done had our share of hard. So
pause.
You're right.
Damn. You know, I'm a buy it.
Who you going with?
I think it's gonna be
one of the young boys.
I think it's gonna be Boggs and Deuce.
Boggs and Deuce, not Danzy.
Give me a healthy Boggs.
I was gonna go Danzy and Deuce.
Yeah, give me Boggs coming out there as a wild card, man.
Bree said, "Does that include pop passes? Get out of here, man."
That's the only reason why I'm hesitant, because I mean, we have those guys. Like, again, Danzy can get behind anybody. You know, you can just throw it up there for Deuce, but the deep ball is not Ashton's strong suit. You know what I mean? Like, even Tommy, Tommy can at least flick it up there. He couldn't see over the line, but he could flick it out there and Danzy would just go get it. But Ashton, he can see over the line. He's not a good deep ball passer, like, at all. So,
that's why I would think you would go Danzy because of the run after the catch factor.
Yeah, Danzy's. I don't trust Danzy's hands that much. That's all. That's all with him.
He had some drops in there. I didn't see them.
Danzy had a few drops. He needs to be. I mean, Deuce needs to be better as a catcher too.
Yeah, on that first try.
Yeah, there's a lot of bobble catching going on.
Yeah, I say all that. I'm still gonna buy it.
All right, 3 more questions, then we get young dollar questions, then we get up out of here.
You asked one already, so we just need one.
All right. Did recruiting? So there's a, believe it or not, FSU's wide receiver room is in a couple people's top 10 in the country. You know, so my question is, did recruiting fix the wide receiver room? Are you buying that or are you selling that?
Did it fix the wide receiver room?
Yeah, I'm selling on that.
I don't.
Because I think we're high on the receivers, and a lot of the national pundits are high on the receiving room as well. Outside of Deuce, you're talking about Lopez and Carter. So, you know, it's not just Deuce. You're talking about Danzy. We think Boggs, he's going to bounce back. Do you think recruiting may have fixed this receiving room? Do you think that? I guess this is kind of like projecting what these guys are going to do this year.
I got you. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think that we've had bad wide receiving rooms. I think we've had bad quarterbacks.
Okay.
I mean,
it sounds like we had like a major problem and one of these young guys filling in the hole. I think our older guys are going to be starters. I don't see none of them jumping any of our previous players. So I would think 2 or 3 of them have to jump our previous players for them to fix.
Well, even Dollar, I mean, even think about last year. Like, we had Deuce, Danzy came on. We had the one kid who I wanted to keep, but he transferred to Louisville.
And just to be third string for
and then again, Squirrel White. We saw Squirrel White's stats at Tennessee. Squirrel White was a very productive receiver. We just had a bad quarterback. We've had bad quarterbacks the last 2 years. So I don't think that our wide receiving room has been bad.
Yeah, so you voiding that check.
Yeah.
Right, so you avoiding that check. All right. So I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna close it out with this one. I'm gonna get a little controversy going. Buy or sell. Deuce has more receiving yards than Malachi Tony. Come on in here, Breeze.
I buy it. Forget it.
There it is. Come on,
I
Pump.
think Malachi gonna be like a Swiss Army knife. I feel he gonna play a little bit of quarterback. I feel like he gonna play a little bit of running back. He ain't gonna be able to beat him in receiving numbers, but
I'm gonna sell that.
AY selling, Pump selling.
I mean, I know he played in some bowl games, but the kid had 1,200 yards last year receiving.
Hear me out though, Pump. Deuce did that on half the catches with a bad quarterback. With no playoff game.
Okay.
But you know, I'm a fan of Malachi Tony.
oh no, not a fan of that. No, sir.
I'm a fan of receivers.
Happy
Man.
for him.
Yeah, Deuce had a G last year. I think Deuce. Listen, this might be a crazy statement, and we can finish it on this. I think as a passer of the football, we had a better quarterback last year than we do this year.
Don't say that, man. I'm going to games, man. Don't say that.
Clip it up. That's the clip right there.
I think Tommy Castellanos was a better passer of the football than Ashton Daniels.
Dollar, what's your question? Out of here. What's your question? That's the clip right there.
Oh, I was gonna say if we have 1,000-yard rusher, receiver on the team, who would it be? Would it be a receiver or a running back, and who could it be besides Deuce if it was another one? But you kind of asked that one, and I was gonna say if Mike Norvell is our coach next year, how many games did he win to continue to be our coach?
Yeah, we had the Mike Norvell coach talk at the beginning of the pod. I think a majority of the fan base don't care how many games he wins. They want him out of here regardless. For me,
Miami, Clemson, and Florida. That means you only lost 2 ACC games, and you're in the hunt for an ACC championship appearance. So if they can sniff an ACC championship appearance, unfortunately, that means he'll probably be around, which is nuts to me.
Who's this guy with a Gator shirt asking who y'all want as y'all head coach next year? First of all, G, hit the subscribe button. Help us get to 50 subscribers. Welcome to the Somebody Said Noles page. Mondays, we do the Somebody Said podcast. Wednesday, we do Somebody Said. Breeze does Somebody Said Canes. Hit the subscribe button. But who do we want as the head coach next year if Mike was to get fired? What y'all think?
I feel like we should table that until next week. I got some thoughts.
Right, yeah. I got to see some resumes. I got to see some 2026's resumes first.
All right. Reg, to answer your question for me, before we get out of here, I want to see. I think Boggs is a sleeper, man. I think if he could just stay healthy and get consistent targets. I don't think Tommy was looking his way a lot last year, and then half the time he wasn't on the field because he was hurt.
Injury bug, man.
Yeah, I think he's a natural route runner. He's got the best hands on the team, in my opinion. We talked about Deuce double catching and Danzy double catching. Ain't no double catching with Javion Boggs. I think he's a polished receiver. He just got to stay healthy. So if he stays healthy and gets enough targets, I think he could push to do that.
100%. Yeah. I think the kid's solid. Just got to stay healthy, man.
Yeah.
I would say 9 wins for the Mike Norvell question. I need at least 9 or 10 to be comfortable. And then I feel like one of the running backs going to give us 1,000. Next to Deuce 1,000. I don't think it's going to be a receiver. But I think it's going to be Usman.
Okay. I put up 3,000 on NCAA with Quintravion. We won the Heisman.
This man.
He snapped for you, huh?
Yeah, man.
Listen, y'all know to get that. Mike gets that Jerry Krause treatment. I don't care if you go 13-0. You can go 82-0.
Yeah, out of here. That's crazy. Hey, man, as always, appreciate y'all. But appreciate everybody in the comments for stopping in. Please hit the subscribe button, please. Subscribe to Somebody Said Podcast on Monday. subscribe to Somebody Said Canes, and always subscribe to Somebody Said Noles. I'm Unc Bayless.
Hold on.
We got
the next show coming up August 3rd. Actually doing a 2026 FSU preview on the Somebody Said podcast.
Shout out to Breeze in the chat, man. He kept the chat going tonight. We are doing the Somebody Said Noles, or Somebody Said College Football Preview Series. We're kicking it off with
Cocoa
the Seminoles.
That's
if you're a fan of a team and wants to preview your team, reach out to us. We're gonna bring you on and we talk about your team for a week. We're kicking it off with the Noles. We got the Gators the following week. We're gonna have some Miami action. We always have someone on from Clemson, Ohio State,
Oklahoma.
AY, I see you was in the chat. If you want to talk UCF, you can come on as well, talk them UCF Knights, So next week we're kicking off the college football preview series on the main pod. Y'all boys got anything else before we get up out of here?
No, man. Listen, go Noles, man. Come hell
out. Noles, ACC Championship.
There it is.
Playoff appearance.
There it is. My God, we got to bring you on Dollar on some
hear
more.
me on this podcast and help our boys. Hey, man.
There it is. And Ashton Daniels for Heisman.